Am I guaranteed paid holidays in the U.S.? Imagine this. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, or the 4th of July. You're looking forward to time with your family, maybe a long weekend. But then your paycheck comes, and you realize you weren't paid for the holiday at all. Or maybe your boss says you have to work the holiday, but still at your regular hourly rate. That leaves you wondering, am I guaranteed paid holidays in the United States? For millions of American workers in retail, restaurants, healthcare, and beyond, this is a real question. Many assume holiday pay is a legal right, but the truth may surprise you. Under federal law, there is no guarantee of paid holidays. It all depends on your employer, your contract, state laws, and sometimes union agreements. In this video, we'll break down what federal law actually says, how state rules differ, when extra pay may apply, and what options workers have if they aren't paid for holidays. When it comes to holidays, the law separates myths from reality. Workers often think holiday pay is a legal entitlement, but the federal baseline says otherwise. Let's go step by step. Federal law, the FLSA baseline. The Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, is the federal law that sets minimum wage, overtime, and child labor rules. But here's the key. The FLSA does not require employers to provide paid holidays. Employers are not legally required to pay you for holidays you don't work. Pay extra if you do work on a holiday. Give you the day off at all. That means if you're scheduled to work on Christmas and you're paid your normal hourly wage, that's completely legal under the FLSA. Example: a grocery store stays open on Thanksgiving. Workers who show up get regular pay, not double time. Federal law allows this. Federal holidays versus private employment. The U.S. recognizes 11 federal holidays like Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, and Christmas. But these apply mainly to federal government employees. Private employers are not required to close or pay workers for those holidays. Example: the post office closes on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but a private retail store may stay open, and workers get no automatic paid time off. State laws. Do they guarantee paid holidays? Most states follow the federal baseline, no guaranteed holiday pay for private sector workers. But some state or local rules add requirements in narrow areas. Massachusetts. For certain holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, retail employers must pay time and a half if they stay open. Rhode Island. Requires premium pay for employees working on Sundays and certain holidays. Puerto Rico requires paid leave for specific holidays under its local labor code. In most states, though, paid holidays remain a matter of employer choice. Example: a retail worker in Massachusetts earns time and a half for working on New Year's Day. A similar worker in Texas only earns regular pay. Union contracts and collective bargaining. Unionized workers often secure holiday benefits through contracts. Collective bargaining agreements may guarantee paid holidays, premium pay, often double time, for working holidays, additional floating holidays or personal days. Example: airline workers under a union contract get double pay plus a comp day if scheduled on Christmas. This is not from federal law, it's from their negotiated agreement, company policies, and handbooks. Many employers voluntarily provide paid holidays as a competitive benefit. Corporate policies often include 6-10 paid holidays per year. Larger companies may offer floating holidays or paid time off banks to cover religious or cultural observances, but policies vary. Some employers give only major holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Others add days like Veterans Day or President's Day. Part-time workers may or may not qualify. Once an employer adopts a holiday policy, it must follow it consistently. Denying promised paid holidays could be treated as wage theft under state law. Example: A company handbook says employees get paid for Labor Day. If paychecks omit that day, workers may have a valid wage claim. Holiday pay versus overtime. Holiday hours interact with overtime rules under the FLSA. Overtime applies only after 40 hours in a week, not because of holidays. If you work 8 hours on Thanksgiving, you're paid at your normal rate, unless total hours exceed 40 that week. Paid holidays when you don't work generally don't count toward overtime calculations. Example, a worker gets paid for Christmas Day off. That day doesn't count toward the 40-hour overtime threshold under federal law. Religious holidays and accommodation. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act requires employers to reasonably accommodate religious practices unless it causes undue hardship. This can apply to holidays like Yom Kippur, Ramadan, or Diwali. Employers don't have to pay for religious holidays, but they must consider scheduling accommodations. Workers may use vacation or unpaid leave for observance. Refusing all accommodation could be religious discrimination. Example, an employee requests unpaid leave for Eid. If the employer denies without considering accommodations, that may violate Title VII. Part-time and temporary workers. Part-time workers are less likely to receive holiday pay. Federal law doesn't require it, and many employers restrict benefits to full-time staff. But if policies say all employees get holiday pay, part-timers must be included equally. Example, a retailer offers paid holidays to all staff. Denying it only to part-time workers could violate wage laws if it contradicts written policy. Real-world cases. Case 1. In Massachusetts, retail workers sued when employers failed to pay time and a half on Thanksgiving. Courts enforced the state's premium pay rules. Case 2. A New York company handbook promised 8 paid holidays. When workers weren't paid for one, the state labor board ruled it a wage violation. Case 3. A hospital denied time off for religious holidays without considering alternatives. The EEOC intervened, citing Title VII. Case 4. A Puerto Rican worker won damages after being denied statutory holiday pay required by local law. These cases show holiday pay depends on law, contracts, or policy, not federal guarantees. What workers can do. If you're unsure about holiday rights. 1. Check your state law. Premium pay may apply in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, or Puerto Rico. 2. Review your company policy. If the handbook promises paid holidays, it must be honored. 3. Look at union contracts. Collective agreements often guarantee benefits. 4. Track hours and pay. Document missed holiday pay if promised. 5. File complaints. State labor departments handle wage violations. The EEOC handles religious discrimination cases. Example, a worker in Rhode Island isn't paid premium wages for July 4th. Filing with the state labor board leads to back pay. The bigger picture. The United States is unusual compared to many countries. Nations in Europe and Asia often mandate multiple paid holidays per year. The U.S., by contrast, leaves it largely to employers. That's why benefits vary so widely. For workers, this means knowing the difference between expectations and rights. Holiday pay isn't automatic, but contracts, policies, and state laws can change the picture. So, are you guaranteed paid holidays in the U.S.? The answer is no under federal law. The FLSA doesn't require holiday pay or time off. But state laws, union agreements, and company policies can create real entitlements. In Massachusetts or Rhode Island, premium pay is required. In Puerto Rico, holiday pay is guaranteed. Elsewhere, it depends on contracts and employer practices. The bottom line, don't assume holiday pay is automatic. Check your state laws, review your handbook, and hold employers accountable if they break their own policies. If this video helped clarify the rules, Share it with coworkers. The more workers understand holiday pay, the easier it is to protect their rights at work.